One Rowan Atkinson, the legendary comedian best known as Mr. Bean and Black Hatter, made a rare daytime television appearance on ITV's Loose Women yesterday, promoting what was supposed to be a light-hearted chat about his new animated Mr. Bean series and his long career in comedy. The panel, led by host Kaye Adams alongside Nadia Sawalha, Jane Moore, and Linda Robson, started the interview warmly, praising Atkinson's genius for physical comedy and asking innocent questions about how he created the iconic Bean character back in the 90s. For the first 5 minutes everything seemed perfectly normal, with Rowan giving his trademark shy smile and delivering short, polite answers in his soft, precise voice. The studio audience was laughing gently at his self-deprecating jokes about never wanting to speak too much on camera because Bean says everything with his face. The tone was relaxed, almost nostalgic, and millions of viewers at home were enjoying seeing the usually reclusive star open up a little on a show famous for its friendly atmosphere and celebrity gossip. The mood shifted dramatically when Kaye Adams, perhaps trying to make the segment more topical, steered the conversation toward recent comedy controversies and asked Rowan directly whether he believed comedians today are too afraid to offend people. She referenced cancelled comedians and woke culture in a way that implied she expected him to agree with the common anti-woke talking points that have become popular in certain British media circles. Rowan paused, looked at her for a long second, and then calmly but firmly began to defend the right of audiences to walk away from comedy they don't like rather than demanding performers be silenced. He said, in his measured tone, "Comedy has always offended someone. The difference now is that some people believe having their feelings hurt is the same as being harmed, and that's a dangerous confusion." The audience gave a small ripple of applause, but Kaye pressed harder, asking if he thought trans jokes, for example, should still be fair game on stage. Rowan replied that any subject can be joked about if the joke is actually funny and not just cruel for cruelty's sake, adding that punching down repeatedly eventually stops being comedy and becomes bullying wearing a clown nose. What happened next escalated quickly. Kaye Adams interrupted him mid-sentence, accusing him of defending hate speech dressed up as humor, and suggested that older comedians like him simply didn't understand how language has evolved. Rowan's eyebrows shot up, and for the first time in the interview his voice lost its gentle politeness. He pointed out that he has spent decades campaigning for free expression, citing his 2012 parliamentary speech defending the right to offend in a free society, and reminded the panel that Loose Women itself had featured panelists making brutal jokes about men's appearances and private lives for years without anyone calling it hate speech. The audience started murmuring, some cheered, others gasped. Jane Moore tried to calm things down with a joke, but Nadia Sawalha jumped in, saying Rowan was out of touch and that times have changed. Rowan, now visibly annoyed but still icily controlled, responded that changing times don't erase the principle that adults should be trusted to decide for themselves what they find funny instead of having 4 women on a daytime show act as the nation's moral guardians. The studio fell almost silent. 30 seconds later the director cut to an unscheduled break. When the show returned, Kaye Adams, looking flushed, announced that unfortunately Rowan Atkinson had chosen to leave the studio and they would be moving on to the next segment about menopause tips. Clips immediately went viral showing Rowan calmly removing his microphone, standing up, saying "Thank you, ladies, but I think we're done here," and walking straight off the set while the audience gave him a standing ovation mixed with shocked laughter. Within an hour the phrase "Rowan Atkinson storms off Loose Women" was trending worldwide, with fans praising him for refusing to be lectured and critics accusing him of being rude to the hosts. ITV released a short statement saying the interview had simply run out of time, but behind-the-scenes sources claim producers were furious that a feel-good booking turned into a viral confrontation. By evening Rowan had broken his usual silence on social media with a single tweet, "I came to talk about cartoons. I left when the conversation stopped being honest. Thank you to the audience for their kindness." The clip has already been viewed over 50 million times and has reignited the endless British debate about cancel culture, free speech, and whether daytime television is ready for unfiltered comedy legends.